Okay, so to get started, what I have done is I've created a mind dump page where I have used the title of the image, which is the abandoned train yard, and then around that I have jotted down the 5 sentences. Now at this stage, I wouldn't expect sentences. You can use notes, you can use single words, whatever works for you. But what I would suggest you do before you try and write anything down in some sort of succinct way is to just mind them, get those ideas out of your head and onto a page. Now, if I focus on the top left, which is the sight, the see, I have simply jotted down exactly what I can see on the image. Now, I've not obviously used everything. I've pulled out from the image the more prominent either items, objects. For example, the carriages are quite a domineering presence on the image. I noticed that there were high-rise flats in the background. The clouds, I've looked at the weather itself. Now, the clouds I thought were really interesting on the image, and considering I'm asking for a descriptive piece, I thought they could create some really exciting vocabulary, and we can use some metaphors and similes to look at those. Now, I'm not going to explain all of my ideas around here. I do want to focus on the taste and the smell. Now, the reason I want to focus on those a little bit more is to start off with, they may seem quite a difficult one to sort of pull ideas from the picture, the taste especially. So what I would really like you to do is to imagine that you're actually stood next to the carriages on the track. You're completely by yourself. Now, obviously, you're not going to be stood eating a sandwich. You could be, but I would assume that you wouldn't be. So what you really need to imagine is what it would sort of taste like. Think about when we're stood at Western Seafront. You can taste the salt in the air from the fish and chips. So think about what you may be able to taste in that environment right there. So you'll notice that I've described it as being stale and a bitterness. Now, the bitterness I came from thinking about the rusting of the iron or the steel, and the staleness was almost a play on words. I used the idea of stale air because actually looking around the environment, it's completely abandoned. There's nothing there. It's still, so therefore that's where I got that stale idea from. Now, similarly, moving on to the idea of smell, I described it as having a dampness stench or a stagnant sort of smell maybe. Now, if you notice in the bottom left-hand corner of the photo, there are some puddles. Now, they could either be from something being spilt, or it could be rainwater that hasn't been able to drain away. Now, the idea of smell, just to add some real atmospheric language, rather than just saying clear water or fresh rainwater, thinking of the idea of getting a reaction from your reader, I was looking for some more upscaled vocabulary really, so that's where I got the idea of stagnant from. So please use this as much or as little as you would like to. As I say, I suggest this could be used as a starting position for your mind dump before we then think about getting our ideas down into sentences and therefore into a more sustained paragraph. So good luck, get your ideas down, have a talk with somebody, have a chat with your mum and dad to see what they see. They may see something that you haven't. This will provide a really good opportunity to have a discussion. So good luck and enjoy.